Julia Gillard's returned to her favoured policy ground of education, searching for new momentum for her campaign at the start of week 4. The Prime Minister went to Perth and tonight to Adelaide, offering $500 million for schools and teachers. A day on from his big campaign launch, Tony Abbott set a more relaxed pace around Brisbane with no new policy commitments. From Canberra, Greg Jennett reports.
From the main event of his campaign launch to the stalls and sideshows of the Ekka, Tony Abbott switched the speed down, but not the intensity.
It is a good contest, but it's now coming down to the wire. This is decision time.
The national polls suggest it's still Julia Gillard's to lose, and with her opponent playing it safe in Brisbane, the Prime Minister went west and back to safe Labor policy ground.
The next great economic reform this country needs is to reform our schools, to make sure we're investing in what the economists would call human capital.
She's promised $500 million for schools and teachers, featuring an Australian baccalaureate scheme to give internationally recognised high school qualifications, an online curriculum with free database for help with homework, and rewards of $75,000 for primary schools and more for secondary when student performances improve.
We want to be rewarding schools that are lifting kids up and getting them to be the most improved.
There'd also be bonuses for teachers who helped get better results.
Rewards for schools to keep improving. Rewards for our best teachers who drive school improvement.
This money will disappear in a bureaucratic nightmare through state government's hands, with the Australian Education Union having a big say in how the money is spent.
When it comes to spending money, these two are the gatekeepers. Wayne Swan and Joe Hockey took on the economic debate that the leaders didn't have. There was an admission on debt and deficit.
We would have had, obviously, a deficit. We would have had that challenge.
And a spirited exchange on campaign promises.
We've shown more policy courage than any opposition ever has.
The debate didn't settle any scores over costings. Joe Hockey says the coalition saved $3 billion more than it spent. Wayne Swan claims his numbers don't tally with Tony Abbott's and has again demanded the policies be submitted for independent assessment.
When will they be submitted?
Before the deadline.
Yeah. This week, is that right?
No,
they're coming in this week.
Anyone from finance? When's the deadline?
Are they coming this week?
Not that the economic management debate is restricted to current treasurers.
And when Peter Costello was asked whether he'd endorse them, he said,
"Oh, not on economic matters, but if they had any ounce of decency at all, they would pull that ad. And Gillard, if she had any strength, would order them to pull that ad."
Mr Costello, when he said those words, was right. Mr Abbott is not interested in economics.
Peter Costello defended his friend's mastery of numbers and scoffed at Labor's attempts to claim economic supremacy.
The person who never helped on any of the big decisions was Julia Gillard, or Kevin Rudd, or Julia Rudd, or Kevin Gillard, or whoever they might be.
In a campaign rich with former leaders, there was still room for another. But Andrew Peacock's enthusiasm for the cause led to a lapse in language.
You'd need to be pretty handicapped not to appreciate that this government is dissolving before your eyes daily.
If you're going to make fun of people, pick on, someone your own size. Don't pick on people just because of their impairment.
As for Labor's former leader...
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being just bearable, and 10 being massively annoying, how big of a tool is Mark Latham?
There are some things that can't be measured.
Less is more. Greg Jennett, Late Line.